Hello and welcome to a new lesson of conversation. Today's lesson is nice to meet you. So basically, we will learn how to introduce ourselves to someone who's new, somebody you have never met before or you have never talked to before. Okay. How do you introduce yourself? How do you start a conversation? It says here, where do you make friends and meet people? Where do you usually make friends? For instance, if you are a student who goes to school, then probably most of your friends will be from the school. If you go to the university, then most of your friends will be from that university. If you are let's say, if you are working at a specific place, a company, or any kind of place, so probably most of your friends will be from that place because it's the place where you spend most of your time with those people. So you got to know them much more than other people. Okay. It says here, what's the word is most common last name? Last name. So we have the word common. Common, that means it's available in large number, something available in large number, or shared, something is shared by a lot of people. So it's common. Then we have last name. Last name is your family name or your surname. Okay, you can find it even in your passport. You can see first name, middle name, family name, or surname. It's basically the same as last name. Then it says here, some say it's Zhang, sometimes written Chang. This is a Chinese name. It's not pronounced Zhang, it's pronounced Zhang. There are about 100 million Zhangs in the world. What's the meaning of your last name? Is your last name common in your home country? What's the meaning of your first name? This is basically just asking you, what does your name mean? Your last name, your first name, what does it mean? So every name has a meaning. So it's just asking what's the meaning of your name. Then here we have a text. This text is between Patricia and Bo. Okay, so they are students who haven't spoken before to each other. They have never had a conversation together. And they meet in line. They meet in the cafeteria line. They were heading for lunch. They were grabbing lunch, and they just met in line and they started a conversation. Now, before we get into the conversation, let's check some vocabulary that we will find in the text. The first one is medicine. Medicine. Medicine is the field of health and healing. It includes nurses, doctors, and various specialties. So for example, if you are studying medicine, that means you're studying things that have to do with health, with people's health, okay? It also has to do with drugs, or we can say medication, okay? Like a pharmacy studies, okay? So it all goes under the term medicine. Then we have noodles. Noodles. Noodles are type of food made from this kind of dough that is just rolled flat and cut. This is just a definition of noodles. So these are noodles. We call them Indomie, and here we have them as Indomie. So, all right, let's go back to the text. So here we have Pat. Pat is short for Patricia. Okay, so some people, they often shorten their names. They often shorten their names. All right, here we go. The noodles look good. I think I'll try some of them. Is the pizza good too? Yeah, the pizza is usually very good. My name is Patricia, by the way. Nice to meet you. Sorry, what's your name again? Patricia, but please call me Pat. Pat, I am Bo Wei. So what do you do? I'm studying medicine. Really? Yeah. How about you? I'm a computer programmer, but now I'm studying English. Oh, are you? That's great. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, we'd better keep moving or we'll lose our place in line. Now, before we go further, let me just go here and explain something about the text. So here the text, it started with something called small talk, small talk. Now, in English, small talk is used when you meet people for the first time or when you talk to someone for the first time. So it's called small talk. It's a way of starting a conversation. You can speak about topics that are related to the place you are in or in the situation that you are going through. Or you can often speak about general topics like the weather. So here in the conversation, Patricia and Bo, they were standing in line of a cafeteria and they were going to grab lunch or to have lunch. So Pat, she said, the noodles look good. She started the conversation about talking about the noodles which are served in that cafeteria. So it's related to the place they are in. It's related to the place. So she can't just like talk about, let's say, cars. She can't say like cars are great. She can't say that because they are not in a car market. Okay, so she started the conversation with something called small talk. Okay, so here we have an example. So if you meet someone at a restaurant or a fast food shop or a cafeteria, you can start the sentence by saying, the food here is amazing, isn't it? For example, the restaurant is so fancy and it serves nice or delicious food. So you are speaking about something related, connected to that place you are in, okay? Or you can start speaking about general topics like the weather. You can say the weather is nice today, or it's a nice weather today, isn't it? Okay, you can use a question tag like, isn't it? This will make the other person respond and start speaking to you. They might say, yes, it is. Okay. All right, let's go further here. Okay, so when meeting people, there are steps you have to go through. Okay, so number one is introducing yourself. Introducing yourself. Now, here, usually when starting the conversation with small talk, you don't have to say hello or hi. You just start talking. For example, you say the food here is amazing, or the noodles look great, like Patricia said, the noodles look great. She didn't say hi, she didn't say hello. No, she just started the conversation by the noodles look great. And then after Bo responded, he said, is the pizza good too? She said, yeah, the pizza is usually very good. And then she said her name. She introduced herself. She said, my name is. So she didn't say hi, hello. No, because she already started the conversation with small talk. Okay. Now, if she didn't start the conversation with small talk, she would have said hi or hello. She would have introduced herself by saying hi or hello. For example, here, hello, my name is Patricia. Hi, I am Bo. So in this case, there was no small talk. There was no small talk. They just started conversation by introducing themselves first. Okay, let's go further here. Getting the name right. Getting the name right. So he said, sorry, what's your name again? What's your name again? Now, usually if a person tells you his or her name, but you didn't hear their name well, or their name was very long and you did not quite understand what they just said. So you can say, sorry, what's your name again? That means, can you please repeat your name again? Okay, or you can just say what's your first name or what's your last name. Okay, and here she said, it's Patricia, but please call me Pat. So her name is Patricia, but she asked him to call her Pat. Okay, he doesn't have to say Patricia. How are you, Patricia? Or no, he can just say, how are you, Pat? For example, he call her Pat. It's short. It's a short form of the name. Okay. And then you can also say, sorry, I didn't catch your name, or I didn't get your name. That means I didn't listen well. I didn't listen well. Can you please repeat it? So if you say, sorry, I didn't catch your name, that means, can you please repeat your name again? Can you please repeat it? Sorry, I didn't catch your name. I didn't get your name. Okay, it means, can you please repeat what you said? Repeat your name. All right. And then asking someone his occupation. So when you meet someone, first you introduce yourself and then you ask for their occupation. Occupation means job, okay? Their job or what they do. For example, their work or the things they do, okay? So he said, what do you do? What do you do? She said, I'm studying medicine. I'm studying medicine. You can just say, I'm a student. I'm a student, or I'm studying, and then you name the major. I'm studying medicine. I'm studying geography, geology, history. I'm studying English. I'm studying architecture. I'm studying any type of professions or fields of study. And he also said, I'm a computer programmer. I'm a computer programmer. So he already has a profession, but still he is studying something else. And he said, I'm studying English, but now I'm studying English. So he probably he finished studying computer programming, and then he started studying English. Then really, she said, really? And then she said, that's great. How about you? How about you means and you. So instead of saying and you can just say, how about you? How about you? That means, and you, what do you do? Like, what do you do? What's your work? Or what's your job? Okay. Now asking for more information. Now, if someone says, what do? You can say, I'm a student. I am a student. If you want to know more information, you can say, for example, really, what school do you go to? What school do you go to? What's the name of the school you go to? Okay, you can say, I go to, and then you name the place, you name the school or the university you go to. Okay, for example, here I go to McGill University, Boston College, so different. And then you can ask even more questions like, what are you studying? So if I say I'm a student, I want to know what you're studying. Are you studying medicine? Are you studying music, economics? Okay, so I have to ask more. Okay, and then the same goes if you're actually working. You're not a student. You can say, I'm an engineer. In this case, you are not studying, you are actually working. You can ask by saying, what company do you work for? What company do you work for? What's the name of the company? You can say, I work for a computer company, for example, or digital electronics. You just name the kind of company that you are working for. Now, if I say, for example, I'm an engineer, so there are like many types of engineering, okay? Many types of, let's say, fields in the engineering. So you can say, what do you do there exactly? That means specifically, what do you do? What kind of engineering do you actually do? What kind of work? So you can say, I'm a designer, or I am in the sales department, And this gives you an idea of the work that the person is actually doing, okay? Now here we have some words down on these boxes. On the left side, we have names of study fields. All right. And on the right here, we have some kind of professions. So for example, if you are, let's say, your field of study is medicine, so you can be a doctor or you can be a pharmacist. Okay, so it depends. Now, if you're studying art, that means you're an artist. If you're studying graphic design, that means you're photographer or designer. Okay, if you're studying music, then you're a musician and so on. Okay, if you're studying fashion, that means you are a designer as well. So designer, it can be, we have so many types of designers. Okay, it has, you can be like a fashion designer or even a designer of, let's say, photographs. Okay, like a photograph designer or like an interior designer that you have to do houses and interior designs. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what else do we have. Well, I think this is it for today, but let me just go here and see these examples. Now, as I said, when you want to start a conversation, the first thing you have to do is introducing yourself. You have to introduce yourself. If you don't know the person and you did not start with a small talk, you can just say hello or hi, and then you say your name. For example, Sam here and Jane, we have Sam, he says, hello, my name is Sam. Nice to meet you. So he doesn't start with small talk. He doesn't start with small talk. Okay. Jane says, hello, I'm Jane. Nice to meet you too. And then you ask about the job or the profession. Okay, so the first thing is you started the introduction by introducing yourself and the greeting, and then you ask about the profession. Okay, and how do you ask? You say, what do you do? What do you do? That means, what's your work or what do you do for a living? Okay, now let's see here. Now in the text, we said we have seen something like "Oh, are you? Oh, are you?" This means "Oh, really?" or "Is that so? Is that so? Are you? Is that so? Is it true? Really?" Okay, it's a kind of it's an expression of, let's say, like surprise or maybe like admiration or um, it differs. With better, it means we would better. It's shortened. We'd better, and the full form is we would better. That means it's best for us to. It's best for us to keep moving. That means to keep going forward in line. Okay. And she said, Patricia said, will, which is a short for we will lose our place in line. To lose your place in line, it means someone else might take your turn. They might take your turn or place in the line. They also said, some say, this means some people say. Now, in the beginning of the lesson, we saw this. They said, some say, over here they say, some say. Some, it means some people, okay? The word common, we already said it means shared by many or found in large numbers, okay? So this is it for today's lesson. I hope you found it useful and I'll see you in another lesson. Thank you for watching.